Welcome back, and welcome to the first of the implementation lessons for setting up some more of our scene. If you haven't yet downloaded the project files, I do recommend you grab those below. We are just going to pick up from exactly where we left off in the last video. And the very first thing we're actually going to do is I'm going to create our background geometry. So to create this background geometry, I'm going to use a grid, set my display flag here. I want 2 rows, 2 columns, and I'm going to extend actually out one side, UV unwrap it, and then move that side again to make a nice bent area. So I'm going to grab my selection, switch to edge, select this one down here, and poly, extrude this, and I'll set this to 10 on that unit right here. And while that's actually still highlighted, I can grab a transform and replace that right up here. So I'll say 10 and 10, and your units might be different depending on which axis you selected. So in this case, I've got my negative x-axis here, so I've had to move that back so it's placed at the origin. Or rather, actually aligned with the 0. And now what I want to do is I'm going to add some bend to this one. So I'm going to do a subdivide first to get some additional resolution. If I set this to open subdiv by linear and set this to 3, I can get some of these supporting edge loops. And then I'll do another subdivide, maybe set to 3 as well to get some nice smooth geometry. And then I can change the bending of this curve based on how many subdivision loops I have in this first one. So I'll set that to perhaps to 2. And I want this to be pretty big, so I'm going to transform this up to 5 and connect this to out my backdrop. And we actually do want to have UVs on this just in case. So I'm going to use UV unwrap, and I will UV unwrap this before I actually subdivide it. Rather, actually before I move this edge. So I'll have a nice flat UV area here, and then that'll be respected as we transform. And one thing to note is we're not actually scaling the height of this, so our UVs will not be stretched. So 10, and that same 10 here is the same 10 that I grabbed on my distance. And if I wanted to, I could link those. So copy parameter and paste relative references. But there is no need to do that. So I'm going to undo that. And it looks like that actually wouldn't have worked. So we'll stick with that 10. And out my backdrop. And that's actually going to be good for our backdrop. So I'm going to hit U to go up. And now what I want to do is I'm going to jump inside pegboard. And I'm going to create I'll use a box to start creating this pegboard. Actually, rather that, I'm going to use a grid. And I only want to do a very simple setup. I'm going to make this a vertical pegboard. So I can rotate that, or I can change the orientation for the grid plane. Maybe I'll make this 12 by 6, and we can definitely change this later, so there's really no issues. I can leave that back at the 0 center. And I'm going to do poly extrude to give some thickness to this. I could set this to 1. Actually, maybe let's make it a little bit thinner. We'll do 0.25. And I'll do a poly bevel. We'll do 0.01. And I don't want to be extruding these inside faces here. So if I go to exclusions, ignore flat edges, and set this to a value like 25, it will only be bending the corners rather than these faces here, or only be beveling, excuse me. Set that to 3. And now what I want to do is I'm actually going to transform this so it's not perfectly straight, because for our simulation, we're going to want to have this be slanted. So I'll say rotate, peg, board, and for now, I'll connect this to the out static just because I want to get this into Solaris so I can start setting up a very, very basic dome light and HDRI, just so I can see that we've got at least something to start working with. So I'm actually going to transform this up here within my SOP context. So now once I jump into Solaris, I look at my backdrop, and this is merging correctly because we have grabbed this from the previous video. And now let's actually start defining our primitives that we'll need to use. So on this graph branches, I want to merge everything from the right. And this is going to be I'll put that on backdrop. For pegboard, static, looks like it's the only one connected. So perhaps I'll actually cut these two wires by holding Y and dragging that here. So let's craft this one, and I'll put this on /peg board. Or maybe I'll say props. I'm going to jump inside my materials, create a very basic material for now. I'm going to say, actually USD material X builder. I'll say this is backdrop. I'll say this is pegboard, or actually simple pegboard and simple backdrop. And then for backdrop, let's choose a gray color. And for pegboard, I'll choose some kind of natural wood tone. So I'm going to hit U to go up twice. Autofill materials. Assign my materials. And then let's assign these to our pegboards. So pegboard static is the prop or the primitive we want to assign the material to. And the material I want to get is simple pegboard. And then we'll do another one for backdrop. And I'll get simple backdrop. And we can't actually preview our camera because that has been created down here. So I'll say this is hero cam. Set my display flag down here, either at or below. And I could actually go all the way down, rename this null to end. And now if I select my camera, I'll see where it is, which is actually at the 0, 0, 0. So I can select my lock icon and reposition this camera. Let's find a nice view here where we can actually see. So I'm middle mouse, or excuse me, Alt and middle mouse button to pan, Alt right click to zoom, and then Alt and left click to orbit. So I'll see 30, 6, actually 0, rather, excuse me, 2 here. There is -2 I want to set to 0 because I want to even these out so we're looking straight at our object. And this is now -270, but I can put this to 90, which will make that a positive. And -270 actually would have worked as well, because it's 360 degrees of rotation. Would circle it back to where it was. And perhaps I'll lower this. Can middle mouse to increment those individually. So maybe that'll be hero cam. Let's go all the way down, and we can actually look at our dome light. And if I actually switch this to Karma, we will see, hopefully, our render. And it's not too exciting because we have no actual HDRI here set up. So on our dome light, I'm going to go to texture, and I actually have included this, so you should have it as well. And we're just going to use this HDRI here. And it looks like we're not actually getting this because we have not grafted this primitive into our graph branches. So if I select my end down here, you can actually see there is no HDRI and there's no lights primitive because I haven't actually done that here. So I'm going to switch this to the root primitive to get everything from this right side. And I want to place that on lights. And now it will be under lights and lights because this light has created this primitive prefix here. So this additional one, but I'm not going to worry about that. So we can rotate this around. I'll leave it here. And what I also like to do is switch to correction toolbar and grab aces. So we can see this with a little bit better of color. I could hide that display view if I wanted. And also I could hide my background by hitting W to switch to wireframe, or hitting D, display environment lights as background, and unchecking that. So all right. One more thing we'll do is actually assign this to Karma XPU and then make sure we've got our hero cam selected. And we can even take a little snapshot by opening this one here. We'll say our first render. All right, switch back to Houdini VK for Vulkan. And I think that should be good for the first setup here. So, all right, I'm going to pause the video and come back in the next one. I can double click this to bring it open, right click, color correction, and view that again with my color. Or actually, while we're here, perhaps let's add 2 or 3 more cameras. So I'm going to duplicate by alt dragging. I'll say this is cam 01. We'll select that. Maybe get a different angle. I can change my focal length, maybe to 35. Actually, rather, perhaps I want this to be longer. I'll do 135. Maybe find a nice corner. And I'll do it one more time. Cam 2. And maybe this is zoomed in at the center here. So we'll see what this all looks like once we actually add the rest of our objects. But for now, this should be good. We'll end the video here, and I'll be back in the next one.